Okay, let's talk statistics here. We're talking about the upside statistics considering the upside statistics of XRP and XLM against what the macro catalysts are coming in for this week, right? So we know that the Federal Reserve is going to be talking about the potentials of a rate cut, but consensus is not really pricing a rate cut in. Now, what does that mean? Okay, so if there is a rate cut, there is potentially upside continuation into the market into even greater targets, right? But if they maintain the rate cuts, then that also leads to a historical continuation of the upside too for the shorter term. Okay, so if consensus is pricing in a 96% that we are not getting a rate cut coming in on this 29th of July, well, that's telling us that there could be a probability of a certain direction that we're going to talk about right now. And now, here's the other thing. Can we trust that consensus? Can we trust the market prediction, right? The market forecast? Well, there are probabilities in there that we have to consider as well. So why don't we go ahead and get this thing started, guys? Before we do it, welcome back to the channel. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. My name is Arca, and we're going to dive straight into this because I cannot wait to talk to you about the probabilities of continuation on price here, because it is kind of a creeper and it is a little bit of a difficult one. Just a reminder here, team, I had to actually postpone the first class for the beginner's mentorship until next week because there are more people kind of coming in and we still have a few seats left for that mentorship. Okay, so I paused it, right? We postponed it, sorry, for next Saturday, 9:30 a.m. PST, and we're gonna go ahead and put the second lecture, which is very similar to the first, with added content, right, on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. PST, following that Saturday. Okay, guys, so know that these are recorded, they're filmed, and you can always recall them once you have finished, or you know, even if you didn't make it. $100 for a 9-week live mentorship with me, guys, and it'll be forever available to you afterward as well. Okay, so make sure to sign up in the description below, send over your proof of purchase, and I'll go ahead and get your welcome packets ready here for next week. All right, guys, so let's do this. Okay, so 96% probabilities that there wouldn't be a rate cut on this 29th. In fact, there's a huge probability that it would be in September. Okay, so that tells us something. So that means that if there isn't a rate cut, how about this? Historically speaking, pausing rates or maintaining the rates as we are right now, there is a broader market, you know, like your indices, broader indices, run of about 13% to the upside. So that's already an interesting probability here. And here's another historical fact. We tend to run price up into the Fed. So we know that they're going to be speaking on Tuesday the 29th, right? So now price is actually starting to kind of recover here on both of the XLM and the XRP assets, which is already pretty damn curious and I like. Okay, so could that be the canary in the coal mine, that we are getting upside price action, pre-pricing in something that we know is going to happen? Okay, now to put a little bit of a wrench into that gear, the probabilities, I guess to validate a little more, right? The probabilities are about 70 to 80% accurate for the short term, 1 to 6 months for market prediction. However, they're highly unreliable to determine the timing or the rate size for the cut. So that puts you into this weird little thing here, right? Okay, now what about this? If we add into the factors here the pressure that President Trump is putting onto Powell, well, then that is going to give us an interesting outlook as well, because the probabilities do increase, however, very minimally. They increase to just around 1%. So really 3 to 4%, maybe 5% probabilities that there could be a rate cut this coming 29th. Okay, so that really doesn't do anything either. So if we have all of these probabilities here and the number that we have just as what they are, right? So then I got to tell you that my personal bias here, if I'm using just this, which by the way, you should never do, don't guess based on, we never fight the Fed, guys. That's a common saying. We don't fight the Fed. Okay. And don't try to guess the Fed. We react on the Fed. That's the thing that but content here and YouTube, you like for me to kind of come up with these theories here. The probabilities of an upside continuation are greater for me for both XRP and XLM leading into next week. And that's because I believe that the consensus may actually be more right than wrong this time for cutting the rate. Now, if there is a rate cut, that would be a surprise cut, and I'm also pricing in the probabilities in that. So the probabilities are very, very small twos and 2% probabilities that there could be a surprise cut, but again, we can't guess it because that's a lot of people, despite the fact that consensus is absolutely saying no rate cut, that could happen too. Now, should that happen, price would essentially capitulate for a little bit and then bounce to the upside. So that could really mean that we could really test some serious targets here for XRP, and those could land. Don't ever miss don't ever you can't sit there and say that it won't or it will. Because price action doesn't have to do anything. It will do what it has to do, and that's it. So I'm talking about the probabilities of your 284s to maybe around the areas of around your 275s, right? So here's that gap, 266, 275s, right, to about 284. That's roughly where I'm seeing things. Should it be that they kind of do a rate cut here. We could get a flash downside on this, huge shakeout, and then potential continuation. Now, so far on XRP, since the last time we talked about, we spoke about a consolidation period, a quiet period, and that is absolutely what it has been. Okay, so let me just go ahead and kind of show you here. Price action that we talked about for that Wednesday to Thursday, right, was going to be roughly around this zone in here, right, this 321 to 328, and down into our focus of this area here, right? So in fact, it did happen, right? So here's the bottom side, here's the top side, and now leading in to your Friday, which is the, guys, I got into a little bit of a car accident here. Everything's okay. Everyone's okay. Car still runs and everything, right? But this is why I didn't release a video yesterday. Kind of things turned a little topsy-turvy. My apologies, okay? But now leading into the Friday here, check it out. We bottomed out right at the same area that we talked about, and we came up right to the same area that we spoke about. So we're still inside of this range, just like we spoke about, okay? So now that we're inching closer to the Fed, there is a historical upside into the Fed. So that means that there actually could be an opportunity to start breaking above or start testing these highs here in the more immediate short term. So if that is the case, let's go ahead and see if we can't get ourselves a bias from volatility and momentum and get rid of some of these drawings here just to see what's up. So 5-minute time frame on this, let's just start it really granular, right? So 5-minute time frame, very nice momentum candles printing right here, right? Getting ready to test your resistance levels up here. It's already turning. Volatility is already turning here, right? Remember that the acceleration is upward, right? Expansion, and your deceleration, contraction, right? That would be downside, right? So remember, this is directional. It's direction. It's not. There's no direction bias on this, right? Your direction bias would be momentum. Okay, so now observing momentum here, we do have an upside, and it looks like we're starting to expand, right? Very nice. 1 minute and 10 seconds to close this massive Marabazoo candle here, which is looking great, right? So that'll likely give you some further push. Let's go. 10-minute time frame closing also in 1 minute with this large green candle here. I think we're getting ready for an upside here, guys. 15-minute time frame. Let's see, 15-minute time frame. I'm sorry, the 10-minute was what pivot? Okay, upside. 15 upside. We're looking for this to be pivoted to the downside indefinitely in order for us to determine what that bias can be. So still on the upside here, right? 30-minute time frame, continuation to the upside, 10 minutes to close. Hourly time frame just recently opened with some expansion starting from critical contraction with an upside bias. Good stuff. Okay, upside still, it's not downside just yet, right? No kinks allowed. 3-minute time frame, 3-hour time frame, still pushing. 40 minutes to close with a true green outside, bullish engulfing here, right? Nice, engulfing that prior red bar, right? That green bar, and completely outside of it could be soon. All right, so let's see. 4-hour time frame, still upside consideration, and look at that, man. We're starting to expand there too. 6 hours of up, man. 8 hours of up, 12 hours of upside coming in, still expanding very nicely. Your new day here just just opened up around 3 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago, right? So that's actually starting to turn for an upside. So yeah, very, very nice. We have the some twin sisters here, right? We have a hammer candle here. It looks kind of like a little bit of a hanging man, but still hammers, long wicks to the downside, usually upside, right? We have a confirmation green bar there. This is your second bar here, getting another confirmation. Very good. Let's see, by daily time frame would be the total upside that we would experience here. So 2 days of upside starting from the opening of your buy daily time, which is $3.14, takes you to around 24 cents on tap. That gets you about 340, right? Okay, so 340, what is it? 338.90, 339s, right? So what does that actually mean? That means that we are officially, like I said, breaking beyond this area of resistance, which is the one that we've been using here from the immediate short term, right? This one that we just talked about, up, down, into the like this yellow, green. Yeah, this area here, it does appear as though we're getting ready to break above this zone here of 328. And guess what? We already had the target ready for you guys. The space between 336.24 and 340.47, since we just got a 339 from the statistics, that is presently what I am observing here for XRP in the more immediate short term. Okay, guys, so this is looking pretty damn good. I do expect there to be some continuation. For now, the new leg could be established here, right? So as soon as we start reaching that 339, maybe even all the way up to 342.49 here, there could be a rejection of price, and then guess what? Again, we're going to start creating this little consolidation range here, and then as we get closer to the Fed, likely some upside is coming in. Now, speaking about XLM here in the immediate short, this is actually looking pretty damn interesting. The reason why I say that is because on the 4-hour time frame, we absolutely have the workings of an inverse head and shoulders, right? So this is already looking pretty good for itself too, and a very massive 4-hour candle right now, completely getting a good shot to the upside, sitting at 44.1649, right? So 441,654. That's a strong 44 cent. It's, I mean, it's on the lower end, of course. It's average to 44.0, right? But but it's still looking good. This is actually moving now into a higher valuation in the immediate short. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at that same valuation here from the more immediate short term using volatility and momentum. Okay, 2 minutes 29 seconds. That means that we just got the prior bar open. Sure, it could experience here just a little bit of volatility, right? But it's still on the upside bias. Should it drop any further to the downside, we have an area here that we can observe right around the 44.21. 44.1203 to maybe around the areas of 44. The 446.6. Okay, so it'll be roughly around there that this can experience a bounce should it come down here, because it just got this little double top. So what would happen here is that we're going to build another inverse head and shoulders, right? So the target on this inverse head and shoulders would tell you that you are probably on your way to testing a little bit of a higher resistance and a breakout from this overall zone here, right, guys? So yeah, I do think that we're getting ready to start testing your upper bounds right up here somewhere, right? Anywhere between the zones of 44.4 to around 44.6. Okay, right around that area there. Okay, so let's see about that continuation. 10-minute time frame suggests upside continuation. 6 minutes to close. 50% prior bar pullback. It's what's happening right now, right? Now this is looking like a bull flag in the higher time frame. Very good. Next, we have upside. 15-minute time frame with expansion. So we are completely accelerating from complete contraction with a big push to the upside. This is looking extremely good. 20-minute time frame. All right, look at that, man. Look at that. We just closed this true green outside bar here, engulfing the prior red on a bull flag and a shorter time frame inverse head and shoulders. This is looking pretty damn magical, if I do say so myself, guys. Very, very, very likely some upside continuation happening here on XLM. Okay, next we have a complete break. We have a complete break of structure here. This is absolutely suggesting massive upside, and we're still kind of consolidating here at the resistance. Nonetheless, this is getting ready here for a big push to the upside. I can go ahead and now start to see what that formation could actually be. Okay, guys, so this is what I'm seeing right now. The formation is a right-angled broadening descending wedge, or a right-angled descending broadening wedge, right? And that is kind of pivoted, or it's actually figured just about like this here. So this is your top resistance line and your local low resistance line or support line would be here, right? So this is anxiety. This presents anxiety. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing is going to start to lead us to those targets that we just spoke about for that upside. Let's go ahead and take a look at what that is. Should we break out here in the next 30-minute candle? Let's go ahead and take advantage of measuring that area from the potential breakout and applying it to that same area, right? So the upside actually could be, there you go, 44 to 45 cents on tap. We're looking pretty damn good for an upside continuation, guys. I do see this as a high probability. Now, remember, it's not going to be one shot here, right? We're very likely going to run into the upside here, probably resist around the areas of 44.7 to roughly around that 44.8, where price action would then retrace from this point and then validate the break of that formation, right? As soon as we get that validation, we continue towards the upside and run into your higher valuations here, okay, guys? So those hard targets to the upside, I see could actually be, let me just kind of post myself there. Okay. Well, yeah. I actually think that there's a nice shot at making this 45.11 to, yeah, not bad, to roughly around that 455,664, right? So mid 45s looks like it could be the area for take profit on this, guys. It's looking pretty damn good. So I think you know what, we should probably oh yeah, damn it. Okay, so if upside continues there, hourly time frame upside, right? Massive contraction with upside biases, guys. This is getting really powerful. All right, so that's going to be not yet downside, not yet downside. Nice. Okay. Upside continues even into the good God. Okay, 6 hours, 8 hours up, 12 hours up. There's a kink here, so I still can't even suggest that, and that's why it's breaking. Oh my goodness. Okay, 2-day time frame. I'm just gonna have to stop there, guys. Okay, 2-day time frame here suggesting, and it's still kinked though. I may actually just have to go one more. So your 2-day time frame is suggesting a top of 47.39, of which we already kind of got, right? No, wait, 47.30. Damn. All right, so your 2-day time frame is suggesting a 47.39 top on this, guys. So the hard target on that would actually be around 47.19 to 47.40. Yeah, 47.19 to 47.40. Guys, this thing is getting ready for an upside here. Please heads up. The markets are feeling a little frothy right now. It's feeling like there's going to be a lot of attention into crypto in the more immediate short term than anything else. Okay, guys. So what time is it right now? We have a 30-minute close. What other closures are coming in? I need to make sure that I have everything to tell you that you need. Okay, let's see. Hourly time frame closing in 32 minutes. Bi-hourly closing in just opened. That's good. 3-hour time frame, 32 minutes. Okay, there's likely a retrace that's going to be happening here in around 12 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. So this is likely to retrace into an area that we may be able to consider some risk on. 43.96.96 could be one zone here for entry. Following that could be another area here that's highly confluent around the zones of around 43.8521. Okay, mind the 50% in between that section there, and that could also serve as a potential area for risk on. But guys, this is getting ready for an upside. I am not sure if we're going to be able to make all this downside here, but it's looking pretty damn good. All right, so let me just go ahead and put that there. 50% located right at about that 43.940. Okay, guys, so this is that range that we're kind of observing here for potential entry. Okay, guys, I'm going to color this into kind of a neon green here so that we're all understanding here that this is the present deal here. Okay, guys. So yeah, and pretty damn good. I guess if there's anything else that I need to tell you, I don't think so, guys. I think we're looking pretty freaking magical here, as it is. Jeez. Oh, okay. You know what, guys? I am noticing this. Check this out. One more thing to give to you on this side. So this is very curious. Look at the length of this, guys. This has been going on for hours, 2 days straight already. Now into Saturday, guys. This is all bear phase active that Omega LITE gave you from all the way up here at 352, and this is now. Look at this now. We're getting a bear phase over signal right about here, and we're starting to break, guys. Omega LITE is showing an absolute upside continuation from this point. We just got the green light for continuation, and it's funny that I'm giving that to you too. All right, guys, so please, if you also want this, make sure to look in the description below. Pick it up. It's fairly cheap right now, guys, and send to arcabulls@gmail.com, arcabulls@gmail.com, right? Your TradingView username and also your proof of purchase here, and we'll get this assigned to you for life. Okay, guys, Omega Lite looking very, very, very damn good here, and I'm wondering if we change this thing for the immediate short term, are we bullish? Yes, we are. Check it out. So yeah, completely, guys. Enabling higher time frame confirmation at the 1 hour time frame instead of the 4 hour is telling us bearish on the 4 hour, and now going to the 1 hourly time frame, we're looking bullish. Nice. Yes, so we are looking pretty damn good. I'm gonna go ahead and let go of the video right now, guys, so that you guys can prepare should you prepare anything, and I think this is a pretty good place to kind of leave off. I love you guys, and we'll talk very, very scary Jerry Larry soon. All right, guys, adios and adios. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever, ever, 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 ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well. A very, very good rest of your night and or day. Man, and I'll catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios, team. Oh, yeah.